Headingley captain Ben Stokes. Cameras all good at the back. We're going to start as usual with Sky, the BBC, open up to everyone else, and then we'll do a separate written round table for the English written media at the end as well. So James, over to you.
Ben, the sun's out. Headingley, 5 tests to come against India. How excited are you for the challenge ahead?
Yeah, very. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, nearly at the back end of June now, and for this to be our build up towards the second test since the New Year's, obviously a long time to wait. So, yeah, we've had different preparations for different individuals. Obviously, we've had some guys getting their bodies right, some guys playing county cricket, but yeah, everyone's really excited to be here now and to get going tomorrow.
And as you head into this period, 5 tests against India, then the Ashes, is this the biggest challenge you'll face as captain so far, do you think?
Oh, look, I think first and foremost, obviously, it's 5 games against India that we're focusing on. We know it's going to be tough, always is against India. 5 test matches are very demanding on the body, so yeah, we'll be focusing on these 5 games first.
And you named your team yesterday. Is everyone fully fit still?
Hope so. Yeah.
Good to hear. Big selection decision was around who bats at 3. Can you just talk us through the thinking behind the decision to stick with Ollie Pope, and how close was it between Jacob Bethel and Pope?
Well, big selection just came from not us. Be remarkable to choose someone else if their last knock was 170. That's pretty much all I need to say on that.
And how has Ollie handled the extra scrutiny around his position? How's he dealt with that?
Yeah, look, I think in this day and age, it's very tough to not see all the kind of speculation and stuff around it, just because of how easily accessible things are. You don't even have to go and hunt for it to see it these days. But I think, you know, scoring 170 in his last Test match has sort of shown how well he's handled that extra scrutiny of it, and it comes with the territory, I guess. You know, when you are an international player, it comes with it. You know, it's one of those things where when you're a kid, you dream about playing for England, and obviously it's an unbelievable thing. But you know, then the other side of it is that you can come under the pump a little bit, and that's part of the territory. And you know, part of sort of handling it is also being able to handle the scrutiny that no doubt is always going to come someone's way at some point.
In terms of your bowling attack, you're missing a number of players through injury. How important, how big a boost to have Chris Woakes back?
Yeah, really good. You know, since, I think this is correct, but since me and Baz have been captain and coach, I don't think we've actually lost a game with Woakesy in the team. So, again, that just proves how much of a valuable cricketer he is to any team that he turns out for. I think him being the leader of the attack, he's going to thrive off that responsibility. And yeah, he's a quality cricketer. You know, the relentlessness that he has with the ball, whether that be new ball or old ball, and then having his ability with a bat down at number 8 is obviously massive for us.
And Woakes aside, a pretty inexperienced attack with Josh Tongue and Bryden Cast. How big a test will this be for them?
Yeah, I think like experience and inexperience, it's obviously it is spoken about a lot, but I see it at the end of the day, whether you played 100 games or 5 games, it's your skills that are the most important and valuable thing when you come out to playing, you know, any form of cricket. Bryden's had an unbelievable start to his international career in all formats, to be honest, and he's been great for this Test team when he's put the shirt on. So I don't look into that too much, and it's great to have Tungy back over, you know, the injuries that he had for pretty much a year, you know, out of the game. So to see him back playing for Notts and doing really well, and getting his opportunity again in England shirt is very exciting. So yeah, really looking forward to the boys going out there this week.
And will they get helped by the pitch at all? It looks greener than usual.
Yeah, well, Headingley's generally the probably best overall cricket wicket that we tend to play on. We've had some fantastic games here over the last couple of years. You know, if batters get in, they are very hard to stop because of how true the wicket can be, how fast the outfield is, but you always feel like there's something in the wicket there for you as a bowler. So, yeah, well, I know there's scheduled 30-degree heat, but it is the north, so could turn up and it'd be 6 degrees, blowing a gale and raining. So, yeah, just have to wait and see what the lovely northern weather's got to offer us this week.
Ben, could I just ask you, I mean, physically, I've been watching you train over the last couple of days. It seems from where we were standing that you've been absolutely 100%. But do you feel as good as you ever have done physically at the start of a Test match series?
God. Physically, well, I mean, when I was 20, I didn't even know what stiffness or anything was. Obviously now, 34, you know, everything is just naturally just a little bit harder to do. But look, I've worked hard to be where I am here today, and you know, physically where I'm at, it's great. Yeah, raring to go, and just a bit more sort of sensible, I guess, about my build-up. You know, work hard for, you know, the first 2 training days, 2 days out, and then, you know, sort of very, very chilled and light the day before, just to make sure that everything's raring to go come game day.
Ben, as well, obviously trying to win every Test match you play. I know the broader aim of this kind of era of English Test cricket has been to make it exciting and to bring people to Test cricket. When India are in the country, you kind of know the eyes of the world are on you. So in that process of just bringing people to Test cricket, I wonder if that makes it an extra level of excitement around the start of this series.
Yeah, they're always, obviously, India always brings excitement with them wherever they go in the world. You know, we still want to be known as a team who play an exciting style of cricket, but, you know, now we are, not that we never wanted to win every game that we played, but, you know, it's sort of changing the sort of what we say, how we say it. So, you know, we want to be playing an exciting game of cricket because we know that sort of that's what brings the best out of individuals, brings the best out of us as a team. But it's about winning.
Just finally for me, just quickly back on Ollie Pope, would you say that big 100 against Zimbabwe was the decisive factor in his selection for this Test match, or are there broader issues at play when you made that decision? Well, looking more long term about what he's brought to England, or was that 170 the decisive factor in his selection, do you think?
Scoring 170 definitely doesn't do anyone any harm.
No.
But no, look, I said this when I spoke about it before the Zimbabwe Test. You know, having him at number 3 since I've been captain over a 3-year period, averaging over 40s, speaks for itself, I think.
Thank you very much.
We obviously had the World Test Championship final at Lords. You've obviously had your opinions on that in the past. It's restarting again now. The next qualification period starts. Are you sort of at peace with that tournament, and that standings, how it's all worked out?
So, look, I get asked about the World Test Championship and stuff, and obviously then I'm not just going to say what sort of is expected to say. I will give my honest opinion on it. Great. Which I feel I do. But look, to get to the final of the World Test Championship, you have to win games of cricket, and that's what we focus on. If we win enough games of cricket, then we'll find ourselves there at the final of the World Test Championship. And I think that's probably a better way of saying is that we don't focus on it. You know, we focus on every game that we have in front of us, focus on the series that we have in front of us, and if we win games of cricket, we will find ourselves at the World Test Championship final. And if we get there, we will also look to win that.
And obviously something you'll know is that captaincy sits well on some people's shoulders. It sort of sits nicely, and it helps improvement and thrive. You've got Harry in the team who's just taken over the white ball team, won 6 in a row. Does he, just looking around him now since he was last with you, does he feel a bit pumped up by it, and someone who's maybe grown as part of that experience?
Oh, it's very hard to get Harry Brook looking like he's pumped up about much, isn't it? You know, he's a very chilled, calm, collected character. But I think the responsibility of having that one-day captaincy role now for him is, you know, great to have another senior person in this dressing room as well. You know, the more people that I feel I have to speak to, voice to, when we're out in the heat of the moment, or whether we're off the field, anything like that, the better. You know, I feel I'm always pretty good at asking people's opinion, and not focusing too much on what I think, because sometimes you do miss certain things if you get too involved within your own sort of thought processes and thoughts towards things. So I've always, to be honest, used rookie anyway, but yeah, I think him having that extra leadership role now with being one-day captain is going to be very helpful for me, as well as all the other leaders I've got in the dressing room.
Yes, in the middle.
Yeah, this time around, crowd will be coming in excited, not to watch Virat Kohli, but Jasprit Bumrah. How do you look at this change? Is it exciting for you too?
But exciting that the crowd's coming to watch Bumrah. Yeah.
Not Virat Kohli, but for Bumrah.
Yeah, so obviously there's been a lot of said about no Rohit, no Virat and no Ashwin. That doesn't mean that we think it's going to be any easier than what it ever is against India. The pool of talent that Indian cricket has is just ginormous. So although Virat, Rohit and Ashwin have done amazing things for their country on the field, that doesn't mean that whoever comes in to replace, those individuals are going to be any less hard to bowl at or bat against, just because of how big the pool of talent is in India. I've obviously spent a lot of time out of the IPL, so I know that there's a lot of it. But yeah, obviously 3 massive names, 3 people who have done wonderful things for their country, but it's not going to be any easy for us because those 3 big names aren't here.
We'll take 3 more, one here, and one here at the front.
Yeah. Ben, this series will be England's first home series against India with that new high risk, high gain philosophy, the brand of Test cricket you guys are playing in Test cricket, since you and Brendan have taken over. So just wanted to know the prospect of playing that brand of cricket against an Indian bowling attack, which is as good as anything, and we have seen what this bowling attack is capable of in Australia. So just your thoughts on that.
Did you forget the one that we won in Birmingham?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one-off game, of course.
Yeah.
That's why I said the full series.
No, look, India, obviously Bumrah leading their attacks, fantastic bowler, but there's 11 players on a team, and it takes a team to win a game of cricket. And look, we know Bumrah is an amazing bowler all around the world. His record shows that wherever he goes, he does well. So, we know Bumrah's going to be a threat, but we know that every other bowler that India have is also going to be a threat. So focusing on one individual over another isn't what we're going to be doing. But obviously you pay respect to your opposition, and Jasprit Bumrah certainly is a fantastic bowler.
Hi Ben. Ben, of course it's a new Indian team, new looking Indian team, new captain Shubman Gill. You have seen him play in the IPL and in international white ball cricket as well, even in red ball. What's your assessment about Shubman Gill, the overall package, and of course leading this Indian team? Will it be pressure for him, especially in England?
Yeah, I think Shubman Gill's a very, very fine player. He's been around a long time now, considering he's only young. He's played a lot of cricket, a lot of IPL cricket, and actually a lot of cricket for India. So, yeah, I think it's an exciting time for Indian cricket to be in the new leadership. It's obviously a lot of pressure being captain of any Indian team, definitely. But yeah, it's an exciting time. I think it always is for teams when a new leadership role comes into it. So yeah, obviously he is my opposition for the next 6 weeks, so I won't go into it too much. But all the best.
Okay, we're done. Thank you. Thank you. Stay over the UK room. Right, UK room, we'll do it at the front on the 6